So at Riverbend, we've been growing vegetables since '81, and the business has kind of evolved over time. At its peak, my dad grew 60 acres of vegetables, and it was going half through the farmer's market and half through the wholesale market. My husband and I joined the farm 11 years ago and started a CSA in 2006. No, 6 years ago. 11. We as farmers often get a lot of you should, and for lots of years people were saying you should start a CSA, and the thought of that to me was overwhelming, and I didn't see how exactly it could fit into our business. But in 2011, I said, okay, let's make this happen. And we started a six-week CSA that summer, and I told the customers, you need to have 100 people to sign up or I'm not going to do this. And I also wasn't going to sit in a parking lot for 5 hours waiting for you to come get your vegetables. So those were the challenges that I had at the time. And what I'm learning over and over is that good systems are born from necessity. So I thought, how can I partner with I should partner with other local businesses that have storefronts, bakeries, meat shops, those types of things, that don't always have access to purchasing produce. So some of their challenges to having produce available in their stores is it's a perishable product. They don't have as much people coming through their stores, and the product sits on the shelf and rots. So I thought this would be a good option for them and a good option for me. So I phoned Owen from Prairie Mill Bread, and he said, yeah, bring it over. So that's how that sort of started. And the partnerships that I've made with different local businesses has evolved. So after year 1, year 2, it was really working for those businesses. And Owen said that his sales of bread on Thursdays went up by 40%. And so they were seeing the benefits of having the increased traffic in their stores. And then I started getting approached by people like Jessie Rady's at Northlands and said, bring it to Northlands. And I thought, I didn't quite see the benefit at the time, but she was like, this makes so much sense. I'm like, you are brilliant, so I'll bring it to Northlands. And she promoted the heck out of it among the staff, and now it's available to the staff. And we've added other corporate pickups also. So I think some of the thinking around like how can we get those big buyers to shift local is we need to think about it a little bit differently. Is how can we work together? So she introduced me to the head chef at Northlands, and I said, he was like, oh, how can you just replace my item list on Cisco's whatever? And I was like, I can't do that. And then Jessie, again, was like, but you could supply the buffet. So as a smaller producer, I don't always know exactly, or I can't commit to a month in advance, say, I can give you X amount of carrots on this day. So we pitched it to the chef saying, you can have the best of what we have at the time, and it's easy for you to incorporate it into your buffet. So we've gathered thousands more, like he spends thousands on that buffet every week. So, and he shifted that purchasing for 15 weeks of the year. So it's such a small shift for him, but has made huge impacts for us because it's given us thousands of dollars of revenue that I don't have to stand at a farmer's market and wait for people to come. So that's been a huge advantage. And I think thinking about changing the whole system altogether is not where we need to be thinking, but how to make those small shifts, how to make purchasing shift for 15 of the 52 weeks of the year. And those can make huge impacts. The other place that we've partnered with is the U of A Hospital and the Glenrose Hospital. So they have, and I'm not totally well versed on this, but they have, mandates about healthy living and healthy lifestyles. So they asked if we could, and our CSA is really set up to be convenient for the host location. So we have two products, a bigger and a smaller, and so when it gets to the location, the staff don't have to be knowledgeable about the product. They don't have, it's in a white bag or a clear bag. They look at the list, your name, you get white, your name, you get clear, they pick it up and they go. And it helps, so being at the hospital has helped them fulfill some of their goals around healthy living and that kind of thing, and making local food accessible to the shift work staff, but they see the benefits. They have, enormous mail outs where they just say, oh, this is available. Like, for me to access that many customers like that is like a tremendous feat for me to do on my own. So having those kind of partnerships and accesses have been amazing. Then the next thing that we haven't done that I want to start looking at is companies that have funds allocated to gym memberships, that kind of thing. How can we shift their benefit plans to incorporate healthy food purchasing? So I would love to see that happen so that foods can get subsidized, and that would also make a huge impact, I think, on our operations. So I think there's challenges for farmers, but a lot of opportunities coming up down the pipe that we haven't thought of before that can make huge impacts. And I don't have to attend 25 farmers markets. And then in turn, I can still remain a food producer and a farmer.